Now, I'm very fortunate to have two loving parents that understand and respect my goals and dreams, but I know there's a lot of people out there that are different. Maybe their parents are too strict on them, perhaps their parents are too cold with them. They just might not be as loving as other parents are and even come off as a bit mean. I could never imagine being in a situation like this. So I want to give you some advice that I myself have learned of others mixed with my own personal advice also. So let's say your parents aren't really loving with you, they look grumpy, they find literally any excuse to shout and complain, moan at you, whatever it is, right? And, a person going through this would put all the blame on them. But to solve problems like this, sometimes you have to redirect the problem to you. How are you acting around your parents? Because maybe the reason why they act like this is because you're acting the same. Maybe you're coming across as grumpy and unloving with them too. And I get that your parents should show you unconditional love, but at the same time, two wrongs don't make a right. So, you have to show your parents more love for them to actually reflect that love and show you love back. And there's a few simple ways you could do this. First of all, simply just say that you love them, especially when they are treating you bad and shouting at you. For example, Alex Hormozi, if you don't know who he is, he's a multi-millionaire on YouTube, over 1 million subscribers, whatever, right? But that's not important. He didn't have the best mum growing up and held a lot of resentment towards her because of the way she treated him. I don't know if I think she might have even abandoned him or something. I don't even know, right? But she came over to his house one day, or he came over to her house, don't remember the story 100%, and she was just complaining to him about something tiny, as I guess parents do. And Alex Hormozi, instead of getting angry like he used to do, he just looked her in the eyes and just said to her, "I'm sorry your life was hard and you have to take your anger out on me to feel better, but I'm always here for you and I always love you. I still love you." I can't remember exactly what he said word for word, but it was something like that along those lines. And him and his mum both ended up crying together. And I think from then on, his mum was a lot nicer to him, because that's life sometimes. Parents treat you bad because of their own problems. So sometimes a mum, for example, needs some love too. Just saying these three words, "I love you," can increase your relationship by 100 times when it's perfectly timed, comes from the heart, and you actually mean it. You're not just faking it like, "Yeah, I love you," whatever, like, love you in it. Like you actually mean it. You say it with truth, eye contact, it has to come from the heart. Now, the next thing to do is to hug your parents, because like saying "I love you," this can really make your parents realize how badly they've maybe been treating you all these years. A lot of parents are cold with their kids because their parents were cold with them, and they lack that physical love. So give it a try. Hug your parents sometimes, whether you're greeting them or it's just randomly out of the blue, right? And they'll definitely 100%, especially if you don't really hug your parents often, they'll definitely feel weird about it at first, but deep down they'd like it really, and they'd soften up the more and more you hug them. For example, my mom is a very loving woman, no problems with her. But if I was, but I don't really like hug her randomly, like, at all. So if I even like with a loving parent like my mum, if I was to hug her randomly, like it should feel a bit weird, because like I don't really do that. So and especially with a cold parent, if you're gonna hug him, it's gonna feel weird. But it's just something you have to practice. Like when you're in the gym, you can't just expect to you have your dream physique on the first day of working out, right? You need to work and work at it, and you'll get your rewards back. Your parents will start to soften up about it and appreciate you more and more. Jesus, sun is blinding me. Ugh, hopefully I can film the rest of this video in this room. Another thing you can do to get your parents' love is to tell them what you're grateful about them for. Even if it's kind of a struggle to think of something, it can literally be anything, right? Tiny, big, whatever. Even if it's just one thing. For example, another story. Hamza had a very abusive relationship with his father, and I think at school or something he was told to write something he appreciates about his father, and he was like, "What? No, I absolutely appreciate nothing about my father. He used to beat me all the time for no reason, and he never showed me love." But then he sat down and he thought about it a little more, and he was like, "Hold on a second. He did risk his life to move to the UK from Pakistan, where Hamza's originally from, and for me and my family. I guess I'll write that down." And long story short, end of story pretty much, he told his father this, and once again, like Alex Hormozi and his mum, they both cried together, hugged it out, and I'm pretty sure, Hamza and his father have a way better relationship now, and I think that story I just told was most likely the start of it. And the final thing I recommend doing to make your parents love you more is to just be more masculine. Make your parents have actual reason to love you and actually be proud of you, because maybe you're too feminine at home and your parents have noticed this, and that's the reason why they treat you bad, whether it's conscious or subconsciously. I'm sure if you had your dream physique and you were making your own money, your parents would definitely be more loving towards you. And I know that your parents should love you anyways, no matter what you have or what you look like, but when you're masculine and successful, it does help, right? That's just how it is. That's the truth, right? I mean, a parent, loving or unloving, would love their kids more if they were achieving their goals, right? Also, be more masculine, as in being able to control your emotions better and not dropping to their level. If your mom is shouting at you and you shout back, what is that doing for you? Like, where's that getting you? Absolutely nowhere. It not only makes your relationship worse with your mum, but it's also making your relationship with your mum the norm to just shout at each other all day. Whereas if your mum shouts at you and you respond calmly and walk away, then she's gonna be in shock and she's gonna think to herself, what's going on? Why is he not shouting back? Because he normally does. And then she's later gonna think, wow, maybe I was in the wrong there and maybe I'm just being a bad parent. And hopefully, slowly, she'll stop treating you as badly because shouting isn't getting to you anymore. So yeah, these are my tips in building that stronger relationship with your parents or family. It doesn't just have to be specifically parents. I just thought it'd be better to talk about parents specifically. But maybe your parents are great and it's your brother or your sister that's trash. So use these techniques on them instead if you want to improve your relationship with them. And one more thing, I know I said one more thing before, but just one more thing that I guess you should really do first, and is the most obvious thing to do. Just talk to them and ask them, why do you treat me like this? Is everything okay? Are you okay? Why don't you show love towards me? Asking questions like these will open your parents' or family's eyes and give them a reality check to think to themselves, wow, I've really treated my son or I've really treated my sibling bad all these years. I know doing all this stuff that I've said in this video is going to be hard, as you feel like your parents or family don't deserve your love, but if you really want a better relationship with them that badly and, they still ain't changing, it's time for you to change and make that effort, even though your parents should really be making the effort because they're your parents, they have more responsibility in this situation. But if they're not, then you've got to make the effort and change, and you've really just got to get past that embarrassment stage of, oh, this is embarrassing, I don't want to hug my mom, I don't want to say I love her and stuff. But if you really want a better relationship, these are the sacrifices you have to make. Now, check out this video on screen now to know what to do if your parents won't let you start your own business and want you to get a normal dead-end job like most parents do. Thank you for watching as always. Take care and peace. Bye-bye.